So today we have with us Arnav sir, the residential cum hostel administrative head of North Point Residential School, with whom we're going to have a short interaction session. Welcome to our interactive session, sir. The very first question I would like to ask you is, being a residential cum hostel administrative head, there is a whole lot of responsibility trusted upon your shoulder, and we understand that. But if you are to introduce the boarding ecosystem of North Point Residential School to the parents, what would you like to say to them, and how would you like to introduce our facility to them?
Very good afternoon, Ashwin, and thank you. You have given the opportunity to speak upon this. When we talk about the responsibility of the boarding school, the role which we play out here is to frame the students in a common frame to go ahead and build the nation, you may say. We are dealing with the clays out here to whom we are giving structure. We are trying to give it structure, in fact, day and night. The learning and the living among a diverse group of peers has the potential to lead the disagreements, obviously. Yet the dynamic paves the way for broadened world, the views, maturity. Students learn valuable life lessons about connections and conflicts. As a result, they are often more socially prepared and ready to embrace the world full of different people with contrasting points of view. Although they belong to different culture, different background, different places, when they are inside NPRS, it's all about unity and diversity. From the very young age, we believe and make them learn how to live amongst others, so that when they will be stepping out of this campus, it won't be bigger challenge for them to go ahead and face the world. Wherein you can understand today's world, wherein the competition is so high. So being the hostel administrative head, I would rather take this responsibility and the privilege to render my services. It's an honor to go ahead and do something good to give the future human resource to the nation.
So we just heard from Arnav sir, who was very open in talking about the hostel facilities, and it was very clear, he was very clear on one point, that it is not just about the rigorous academic setup, which is often to find in most of the boarding school that we see. It is about building unity in diversity. It is about, translating the values in student. And in this context, we would just like to ask Arnav sir, see, we have boarding facilities in almost all the schools, right? So I just want to know how different is North Point boarding facilities as compared to other schools in Siliguri, or in that context, West Bengal as a whole.
Ashwin, I guess you are pointing out benefits of staying in NPRS hostel. See, boarding schools concept in India or in world more or less the same, to be very honest. Yes, we have few add-ons which I want to put a highlight on that part. Starting with the common factor that boarding school often leads to a stronger sense of community. When you share life and grow up together outside of the constraints of a private day school or any public school settings, you may say, you build a sense of belonging and community that is unparalleled. Not to be mentioned, much more fun. And learning with fun is something, you may say, a positive outcome which much more productive in sense. We believe that boarding schools offer healthy adjustment of boarding life. At a time when students needs extra help for their homework or projects, they assist in the coordination of tuition with the teachers as well as the mentors. In-house mentors are there. The boarding school counselor is best full-time in the boarding section and accessible to all the students. In fact, the counselor helps the students emotionally and socially so that they can perform to the fullest potential at school tasks.
So couldn't agree more on that one with Arnav sir. It is definitely a true fact that boarding environment, not only in India but across the international arena, it's almost more or less the same. But isn't it more about the wardens? isn't it about the attitude, the character, or the personality of the warden that brings a difference in the child? So in this regard, I just want to put up a very straight question to you on this one. So what roles do warden play? Because we have a set of very experienced, very professional, trained, and very caring wardens that we have, separate for boys and girls. What roles do they play actually in creating a hospitable and very safe environment for children who are more or less, in most of the cases, are often hesitant to come to boarding school? So what would you like to say on this one, sir?
Definitely, this is something where we need to put contrast on. And this is where the difference comes, the human resource, which is the backbone of the boarding school. To be very specific and very straight, we have one of the best human resource working down out here, who believes in service. Now, service which has to come within. Now, the sense of service to go ahead and give something to the nation which is much more productive as expected. Now, the thing is, they go ahead and give their full time right from 5:30 in the morning till the lights goes off at 10:30 or max to max by 11. So you can understand the working hours and the hard work in behind which they put on. The boarding students get a head start on preparing for the life after the school. This is the main motto. We prepare them not only to go for the academics, even out campus. They arrive at the better colleges, they will land some better colleges there, prepared for academic rigor, because they learn how to be responsible at boarding school first. Now, the contrast which we put on and the team which is working for us out here, they believe and teach the students how to become independent and responsible.
Absolutely.
Students in the boarding school don't just have to manage their own affairs, they have to learn how to live and deal with other people. They are challenged to develop their interpersonal skills through a variety of team building activities, weekend outings, healthy competitions between boarding houses. So these are on charts, you may say. So ultimately what we believe is, see, in the boarding school, you live, you play, you study, and you socialize among your peers. A diverse boarding school setting with students from different backgrounds offers a special opportunity for growth and learning too. Students can expand their perspectives and horizons as they learn together both in and out of the classroom. So the effort which the team is putting to build a proper human resource to be gifted to the nation after they complete their schoolings or after the completion of the academic session with NPRS is going ahead and doing something better for this society. We go ahead for the career counseling programs as well, wherein they are, you can understand a class 10th student is confused what to take. A class 12th student, he is confused where to go. And similarly in higher studies as well, after graduation also, a person is confused where to work. So every parameters there, every steps there has to be a set of parameters wherein we go ahead and counsel them. Do's and don'ts. And creating awareness wherein what to be done when and how. So this is what the thing is. We are teaching them right from the scratch level, you can say, to be independent, to be selective, to be curious enough to get the proper and the correct answers.
So throughout the interaction, one thing I particularly notice about Arnav sir is he was more of a broadening the horizon. Talking about the nation building and trusting the boarding student that they would be the future stars. So it is not an easy task because you have to put in whole lot of effort. It is not just about the classroom studies, and warden definitely they do play a very important role in kind of shaping them, making them understand. And in this context, I would just like to know, because along with a proper mindset, you need to have a proper physical state, and physical state can only be ensured by a good food. And we have heard a lot about, and we ourselves have validated, but to hear from the hostel admin, it makes a different impact. So I would just like to know from Arnav sir what kind of food varieties, or to the level or the standard of the food or the quality of the food. On top of it, the hygiene. It is very important to understand food and hygiene goes parallel. So in this context, Arnav sir, if you could just share some input that you have, so that parents can get to know ki it is not just about the academics, it's about the overall or the holistic development that we generally say in totality, sir.
Definitely, when we talk about fooding, it is one of the very vital section to be, take care properly, wherein you can understand everything depends upon the food which has been intaked. Now, the thing is, I can assure one thing, or in fact, we can assure one thing, that the food part has been taken care very well out here with diverse menu, keeping in mind the taste, the HACCP hygiene. We meet the standards of HACCP, you may say. A team which is working in back in the kitchen is very professional. They are the chefs from different hospitality background. Even me, I am from a hospitality background, so you can understand the contrast is totally upon the proper diet which has to be balancedly give in a proper way to the students. So yes, definitely, and you can understand one more thing. When a new fresher comes down out here, meeting the test of 300 people at a time for 5 times a day, it's a huge job. That's the reason we have proper menu engineering by the chef experts. We have a celebrity chef with us, associated with us, Chef Joseph Rosario, who is taking care of the food part very well, to be very honest. And collectively, when I'm from the hospitality background, I personally go ahead and check each and everything. The food testing is done, the HACCP testing is done, the HACCP audit is done, and I personally make sure to go ahead and check each and every corner for that. Now, the menu engineering part is something we can understand the child's mindset, wherein he loves something, you can say salt, tanginess, sweet, everything has to be balanced in that. Now, if I go ahead and give an example of a food, you have heard about French fries, or say any cooked food from potato. Potato is the most liable thing for the students. Now, there has to be a intake of potato as well. So what we do is we go ahead and fusion with something else, so that the potato's name is there. With the name itself, they are attracted and they go for that. So we are into fusion cookery. We try to cater something out of the box as well, wherein they obviously students they hear about pizza as well. We are serving pizza inside. We have a live bakery with us, so fresh baked food products have been produced, wherein we take the honor to serve directly hot and sweet.
So we heard it from a man himself who has been working in the hospitality industry for so many years and has, been a backbone of this entire residential come hostel thing, which is not an easy task. Absolutely not an easy task, because 1,500 students, out of which 350 students are boarding, and they come from a diverse culture. Like Arnav sir just said now, a child, when he comes to North Point, he or she comes to North Point Residential School, not only comes with the dreams and aspirations, they have different taste preferences, and to cater to those needs, to understand the mind and to be level-headed is something where you need skills and technique. It is not just knowledge, it is not just a degree, it is all about understanding the mindset and creating that environment. And more or less we had everything from Arnav sir. He was very open and he gave us everything, all the inputs from top to bottom, how the boarding system work, and not only constricting himself into the North Point Residential School, but boarding environment as a whole. So it was a lovely conversation, but before we let you go, sir, it is very important, because after hearing this, so many parents may be considering sending their child to a boarding school, right? Which is North Point Residential School, and we hope it to be a North Point Residential School, because we want to give a good, a responsible citizen, a global citizen to the nation. Like Arnav sir said, a human resource. We want to develop a human resource. We want to make them employable. And before we let you go, we just want to, give a very open message to the student and parent as well, right? So if you want to join North Point Residential School, or if they are considering joining North Point Residential School as a boarding student, what final message would you like to give to them?
Now, the message is, I'll keep it very short and sweet. Now, when we speak about the boarding school, I can understand the parents when they leave their child to a boarding school, it's something very painful. But again, the bitter truth in today's era is they are working, they are engaged with different activities. Few family, you can say they are into joint family wherein they are not able to give ample time to their child to raise them well. So please don't worry, we are here to assist you. We are here to render our services. You can keep that trust upon us, wherein we believe the boarding school is all about a hub for learning. And we believe one thing, that is what you need. We are here to take proper care of your words, and you can trust us upon that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Arnav sir, for speaking with us. You didn't just spoke to us, but you spoke to the thousands of parents, or a million of parents, I would say, who may be thinking of sending a child to a boarding school. And we want to let you know that North Point Residential School could be that one destination for your child, where your child will learn, grow and excel. So thank you for being with us. For more updates, please subscribe our channel. That's it for today. Thank you.